Welcome to ATG Show by Assalam Training Group, the authorized center of Cambridge exams and the main providers of certificates and exams of Adobe and Microsoft by the international company of Certiport. In this weekly show, we'll be discussing different topics and issues related to English language learning. And in each episode, we have a surprise at the end, so stay tuned. In this episode, we're hosting Mr. Hashim Al-Shurafa, our certified trainer, to talk about English in general and specifically about English listening skill. Welcome, Mr. Hashim, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you for giving me the space and the opportunity here to talk about the importance of English language in general. And today, I guess we'll start with listening skill. Yeah?
So to start with, let's ask this question. In what way do you think English language is important for foreign students?
Good. That's a good question, by the way. English is the most common language all over the world, as you know. It's the most language spoken and understood by a large audience in most countries around the world. So if you master English perfectly, you will be able to communicate with people, with large audience of people around the world. This is number one. Number two, you will increase your chances of getting a good job.
Well, so what are the things that you believe in they can enhance English learning for foreign students or for ESL students?
In fact, I do believe in three things, three beliefs, three sayings regarding the process of learning English in general, regardless of the skill. Number one, that student is a human, which means I advise my students, never give up. You will face lots of difficulties at the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, but you should never give up. You know, the beginning is always the hardest. Good. You'll find lots of obstacles on your way of mastering English. So to err is a human, no matter if you commit mistakes, it's okay. The mistakes are inevitable, especially at the very beginning. Number two, that's practice makes perfect. Once I correct my mistakes, I put things right again, I should now start practicing the skills of the language. You know, languages are based on skills.
Of course.
And if you want to master that language perfectly and appropriately, you need to practice these skills whenever you can. And the third saying here is English is piece of cake, which means the process of learning and teaching English is really interesting and exciting. Which means you can practice English throughout using several exciting techniques like watching movies, watching series, reading novels, plays, writing short stories, and so on.
So, from your point of view, which skill do you think is the most essential skill of English skills? That we have four skills of English: listening, writing, reading, and speaking. So, which is the most important skill?
In fact, most linguists agree that the most crucial skill in English is listening. Listening is the key skill in English language, which means it's the first language that students should work on once they start learning English. You know, the more you listen, the more you speak. You can never speak English perfectly if you don't listen to as much as English. To English as much as you can. So this is why deaf people they can't speak because they can't listen. So the more you listen, the more you speak.
So this is the receptive, let's say, the receptive skill.
It's a receptive skill,
to produce.
Which leads to productive skills like speaking.
Yes.
You know, listening plus speaking equals oral communication skills.
Of course.
Yeah, I can never communicate with people without listening, and I can never also communicate with people without speaking. They are integral skills.
Well, so what are the important tips that the students can follow to improve this skill?
Good. That's another good question. You know, these skills include even so many sub-skills. So lots of tips are to be said here. Number one, I advise students to make sure that their phones always have listening materials so that they can practice these listening materials wherever they go.
Yes.
The second tip here, I advise students to try to turn boring activities into listening activities. which means I can get benefits from the time I waste while waiting between classes at school, or the time I waste while waiting for the bus, or even when I'm on the bus. We can get benefits from this time and start listening to these English materials on the phone, on my tablet, on wherever. And the most important point is to make the listening materials and activities entertaining, exciting, interesting. And I've got lots of ideas for turning these listening activities into entertaining ones.
If you can just provide us with some of them.
Yeah, I can give you lots of examples. For example, you can subscribe to entertaining and exciting channels on YouTube. We've got lots of channels which work for 24/7 on YouTube. They are live channels on YouTube. They are so amazing and exciting. We can watch exciting, interesting movies and series on YouTube, and wherever you go on the internet, we've got lots of channels to accomplish the listening activities and to achieve that goal. So lots of things we can read, we can start listening to novels on YouTube. On YouTube, short stories, lots of things. So we can turn the listening activities into interesting, exciting ones instead of those traditional ones we have in the exams or during the tests and so on. Yeah.
So what if the students or the beginners cannot understand these listening activities?
Good. I advise my lovely students to do the following. Number one, just do nothing as long as you understand the main idea.
Yeah.
You don't need to look up every and each word you listen to, start checking your dictionary for the meaning of every and each word. No. If you can get the main idea of the listening activity, it's okay. Number two, you should listen to something easier if you find it difficult till you become better.
Good.
Right? Number three, you can start
gradually.
Gradually, step by step. Number three, they should work on their vocabs competence. They should start gaining more vocabs throughout lots of activities. We've got lots of these activities on self-training websites on the internet.
So do you recommend?
They should start listening and reading to expand their vocabs competence.
So do you recommend, Mr. Hashim, that students should write down these vocabularies and new vocabularies and to try to memorize them every day?
I've got a professional techniques. I've got professional techniques for students to memorize the words. Number one, you need to get these words through either listening or reading. So I listen to something. I listen to words which I don't know the meaning. Okay, I don't know the meaning of these words. I start writing down these words. I look up or check the meaning of these words in the dictionary. The third point here is to start using these words.
Yeah. To put
so
them
it's not necessary. It's not enough just to write down these notes on my notebook and that's it. No, you should start using these words in different situations. So number one, we get the words. We get the words from the listening, or reading activities.
Yep.
Number two, we check the meaning of these words. Yeah. Number three, we write down or we note down the meaning of these words on a notebook. And number four, we should start using these words. The most important tip is number four, is to start using these words in different situations.
Well, so if some students ask that their listening skill is not improving quickly, what should they do? Yeah,
this is a common problem. I think the problem is that students keep listening to easy materials for a long time.
Yes.
Good. They don't shift to more difficult or less easy activities. So my tip is, or my advice is, that they need to start listening to less easy activities step by step, gradually. So don't keep listening to the same easy activities. You need to shift to longer ones, to more difficult ones.
Diversity in the listening activities and listening tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we come to the last question, and thanks for your time, Mr. Hashim.
Yeah.
Is there a way to quickly improve this language?
Good.
So is there a specific way that English learners can only follow this way to just improve this English skill?
Yeah, right. We've got lots of procedures to
So it's not
quickly
only
improve your
it's
lots
not-
of procedures.
It's not only a way or a procedure.
I can talk about 4 now
Yep.
because the time is running out. The number one, I advise students to start listening to challenging materials, as I said before. Number 2, you need to listen every day, not once a week.
As much as possible.
As much as possible.
Yep.
So this is why I advise students to include movies, series, listening activities,
Try to download
self-training,
anything.
listening activities in their everyday to-do lists. So in you need to include these activities in your everyday plan. Good. Don't just practice English once a week or whenever you go, or whenever you attend your classes at the university or at the school. No, you need to listen extensively. You need to do something at home. Number 3 or number 4, we need to follow the directions.
So can we say that this skill? Can we say that specifically this skill depends only or depends the most on the students themselves?
Look here. If we talk about the training process. We as trainers, we as teachers, we give like guidelines to students
Yes,
that you need
that's
to
it.
do, that you need to do the following at home.
Yes.
Please do that activity at home. But the students like play the greatest role in this process, that they need
To depend on them.
to follow the rules, to follow the
Following,
instructions, and just do it at home.
So we can enhance our listening skill by following the rules provided by the trainers.
But you need,
a center
but
or
also
any
you need to
place.
live your experience, and you need to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You don't have to copy other people's like experience.
Experiences,
You
yes.
need to live and enjoy your own experience.
To try to get the most of it.
Yeah. So you can like follow the instructions that suit your level.
Yes.
Yeah.
So according to the instructions
Good.
given by
Good.
the
Lots of
trainer
instructions.
or teachers or
Lots of
doctors
instructions
or
for
from
enhancing.
anywhere.
Yeah. But you need to choose the guidelines or the rules or the instructions that would like suit your level. But at the same time, you need to enjoy your own experience, to live your own experience.
So just
And
try to live
again,
your own experience.
never ever give up.
Never ever give up.
Yes.
Never ever give up. So thanks for your time, Mr. Hashim.
It's my pleasure to be here.
And thanks for your time and these valuable information. And
Thank
we're very happy to host you today. And we hope to see you in the next or coming episodes.
So it's my pleasure, and I'd like to thank ETG for this like warm like meeting,
Yes.
and that's it.
Okay, as I promised before, there is a surprise at the end of each episode. And today's surprise is a challenge that you need to record yourself saying 30 adjectives in 25 seconds. And don't forget to send these records to Assalam Training Group Facebook messages, and we'll choose the winner out of these messages. And thanks for joining us today. And that's it for today, and see you next episode.
Thank